to himself, and this is, I can say, the only ibadah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described it in this way. And Sawm also, you will find that all types of patience included in fasting. Fasting will intercede for you on the day of judgment, and it is also one of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised forgiveness for it. As we know, the three hadiths, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Man sama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaban ghufir lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbihi. When you fast Ramadan, believing in Allah, looking for the reward from Allah, Allah will forgive you all your previous sins. And also, Man qama Ramadan ghufir lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbihi. When you pray Salat al-Taraweeh on Ramadan, then Allah will forgive you all your previous sins. And Man qama Laylat al-Qadr ghufir lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbihi. And when you pray Laylat al-Qadr, Allah will forgive you all your previous sins. So there is different opportunities for you for the forgiveness in the holy month of Ramadan. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said also, As-sawmu junnah. So Sawm is a shield, and it will protect you from the hellfire. As he said sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the one who will fast only one day for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will distance him from the hellfire 70 years. Allahu Akbar. So you can see the ajr, the great ajr of that. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us that there is a special gate in Jannah for those who are fasting. Inna fil jannati bab yuqal lahu ar-rayyan. There is a gate in Jannah, and that name is ar-rayyan. And only that gate for those who used to fast in this dunya. And what are the benefits that I can gain as a Muslim when I fast? The first, it is a great step to reach the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the ayah, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. O you believe, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed fasting for you as He prescribed it for those who before you, so you will attain taqwa. And also when you fast, you understand the ni'mah, the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed you, that you are during the year you can eat and drink, while there are people who cannot find anything to eat. So it makes you start to thinking about these people. And one of the important things I can say, fasting makes you convinced that you have the ability to make a change. Because all of us, we know, in Ramadan we make a change. We eat 2 or 3 meals during the day, and we eat whenever we like. Then we stop all these things, and we stop at Fajr. Then there's the other meal at Maghrib. We come to the masjid. So you find this. So you can make a change. So some people, sometimes they say, I cannot leave this. Why? Because I don't have the ability. I don't have what we call it irada, the determination. Now Ramadan teaches you that you have the ability of the determination. It is only you need to be convinced about it and start it. And also when you fast, this will make you more passionate and compassionate about those who are poor and who do need help. And at the end we can say Sawm in itself, fasting in itself, is a healthy option for you. And we know that doctors these days, they are talking about fasting 2 days, 2 and 5 or 3 and 4. And in this way you are cleaning your system and all of these things. So what we can say after أركان الصوم? أركان الصوم is to stop anything will invalidate your siyam, which is eating, drinking, and any sexual intercourse. And this is according to all the ulama from the previous and these days. When I stop eating when there is what they call it al-Fajr al-Sadiq, the true Fajr. So the Fajr, you see Fajr in this way and still this way. The first one still dark, still late night. But when you see the Fajr like this, because this shows you that now the light of the sun will start reaching the earth. It will be in this way, and this will consider the Fajr. And these days, all of us, I can say, relying on the timetables and the phones. And what I found here in this town, really very strange, I have to say. And I was looking at the timetable for this masjid. I find the first day maybe 5, 10, or 11, 12, something. Then I looked at a masjid which is few meters from here, and the Jama'ah is 5:10. So nearly the difference, about 20 minutes. And maybe another masjid, they will start maybe 10 minutes after that, which is, when you think about it, yani, this is, wallahi, I can see it's a shame on Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that there are masajid in a small town like Luton, and mashallah there are scholars and there are people searching, and these days I don't there is any excuse for anyone not to find the true Fajr, because I've seen myself, there are websites and there are institutions here in this country, they can tell you when the Fajr starts, when the Dhuhr, when the noon time, when it is Maghrib, when the night starts, when the night ends, all of these things available. So for the people to ignore it, all of these things and start say, oh, yeah, we know it is 5:10, the true Fajr, but we'd like the people to be ready, so we don't want them to put them in check, in doubt. So 20 minutes, they will be fine. There is no chance that they will make a mistake, and this is not right. And there is one of the practices I've seen, and people they don't understand it, to do with Fajr. There's hadith. The hadith saying, if you have something to eat or drink, mainly the hadith talking about drink, and the Fajr call starting saying Allahu Akbar, then complete it. So what's the hadith saying? What's the meaning of the hadith? The meaning of the hadith that I had my sahri, as you call it, and just I have glass of water or milk or anything else, or I have piece of bread, or I'm the last bit of a sandwich that I'm eating, and it say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. What the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saying? If it is that much, that small, obviously, at that case, it will be just a little bit, maybe a sip of water, a little bit of food, finish it. But not, I've seen by my eyes, that people, they have a bottle of water like this, Allah Akbar, then they go to the water and start. What are you doing? Oh, there's, there is different opinions about the Fajr. Is it now or after 2 minutes or these things? I think this is misunderstanding of the hadith. The real understanding of the hadith, firstly, why you put yourself in this situation? You know Fajr, for example, 5. Wake up at 4:30, yeah. So prepare your food and all, because how long it will take you to have suhoor? 10 minutes? If you woke up 4:30, you make wudu and all of these things, you get ready, prepare something, say 4:45, then in 10-15 minutes you can eat. And you can stop 1-2 minutes before the adhan, so you are safe, inshallah ta'ala. Where we find the dalil that we can eat until Fajr, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Baqarah, وكلوا واشربوا حتى يتبين لكم الخيط الأبيض من الخيط الأسود من الفجر ثم أتموا الصيام الليل. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Ayah 187 Baqarah, eat and drink until you can differentiate between the white thread from the black thread. And here means the Fajr. Not you put, because this happened in the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a person, he put next to him like two big threads, one black and one white, and he was thinking that when the minute he can see the white of the drink, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said to him, yani, in a way, this is not the what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala meant. Allah meaning here, when you can see this difference between the night and the day. So you eat and drink until the Fajr, then you continue until Layl. How we know this is Layl? When the sun goes down in the horizon. And the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his time, he used to say, كلوا واشربوا حتى يؤذن ابن مكتوم فإنه لا يؤذن حتى يقرأ الفجر. He used to say, eat and drink until Ibn Maktoum will call the adhan, because Bilal will make the adhan when it's still night, which they call it al-adhan al-awwal, the first adhan. And Ibn Maktoum used to say the adhan when the Fajr starts, and he used to ask, because he was blind, so he used to ask the people, is it Fajr now or not? Until they say to him, yes, then he will call the adhan. And we eat and drink until, as I said, the sunset. And these days, as I said, it is very simple to know the time of the sunset. So be sure that you break your fast at that time. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah, He said, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْهُ. Every Muslim who reaches or who present during Ramadan, then he must fast Ramadan. And the scholars, they are talking about what are the conditions. So the first thing that he should be a Muslim, so fasting from non-Muslim is not accepted. And also bulugh, which reaches the age of puberty. But it is highly recommended to start teaching the children from early age to fast, as the hadith of Rubayya bin Muawwad. She said, كنا نصوم ونصوم صبياننا. We used to fast and encourage our children to fast, and we used to make for them toys of wool. So when he cries, we'll give him the things. Another narration, they used to hang the dates in the masjid, so they will see the dates in a way that, look, the dates are there, and you will have it at iftar time. Now, all of us, we know the two ayahs in Surah Al-Baqarah giving mainly two categories that they can break their fast. The first one is al-musafir, the traveler, and the second one is the al-marid. Now, al-musafir, now the scholars, they have different opinions about how we consider musafir, traveler. And I mentioned this when we were talking about the salah. And what I can say, that if you consider yourself a traveler, then this considered to be permission for iftar, that to break your fast. But someone saying, I am going from Luton to Bedford and consider this safar, it's not safar. I remember a brother asked me, I have a job in Wembley, here from Luton. shall I break my fast? I said to him, brother, come on, from here to Wembley, iftar. He said, but there's rukhsa. I said to him, this is not rukhsa, this is not safar. Safar, you prepare yourself for that. And many of the scholars, they say more than 50 miles. It's not 50 miles from here to Wembley. And I noticed some people, they ignore the end of the ayah. What's the end of the ayah say? Let me say the whole ayah so you can understand it. The ayah says, the ayah saying, أياما معدودات, counted days. فمن شهد منكم الشهر فمن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخرى. If you are sick or a traveler, then you can make it up later. وعلى الذين يطيقونه, those who cannot fast, فدية طعام مسكين. That those who cannot fast at all, then they can give fidya, which is to feed a miskin. فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له. If someone like to make extra, then this will be better for him. Then at the end of the day, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَأَن تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. But to fast is better for you إن كنتم تعلمون, if you know. Subhanallah. Yani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to us, if you are a traveler or if you are sick, you can break your fast, but fasting is better for you. Some saying, but ya akhi, it is rukhsa, permission, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes us to take the rukhsa. I say yes. I'm not doubting that it is rukhsa. But I'm looking also at the ayah. The ayah is saying to me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to me, if you fast is better. Shall I ignore this ayah and just talk about it's better, I can't take the rukhsa? This is not right. And anyway, you need to fast that day. So that day that you break, you need to fast it later to make it up. If I have the opportunity to fast on that day and gain all the rewards while I am fasting, my dua is mustajab. My reading the Quran during the day is better. I can pray Salat Taraweeh as well. I have da'wah, special dua when I break my fast. And as the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, الصائم عند فطره دعوة لا تعد. So الصائم, when at the time of iftar he has dua, and that dua guaranteed to be accepted. Shall I leave all of these things because I just a little bit tired, and these days what safar yani? And I can't consider safar someone traveling for a long time and he's driving and it is hot. But most of the journeys these days is not considered that much safar. And also the ayah saying, وَعَلَّذِينَ يَطْلِقُونَهُ, we know that there are people, they are unable to fast at all, either because of the age. There is people, not necessarily that person sick, but his body doesn't help him to fast. And the scholars also spoke about certain jobs constantly, non-stop, and it is like impossible for that person to fast. Like in the old days, you'll find the baker, the one who bakes the bread, and he has to stand in front of the oven the whole day. So you'll be hot outside, hot in front of him, and that person needs all the time to drink. So the scholar, that one, he will be under those who cannot. Or someone works in a mine or something. As long as that job is constantly, not something, I have a job for 15 days or 20 days, or if it is constantly, then that person can make what they call it fidya. They add to this, the scholars, that the person, especially this for the ladies, she has to be pure from what they call haid and nifas, that period and after giving birth. So during the period time, the minute that the blood starts until the blood stops and she's pure, during that time she cannot fast, and she has to make up these days later. And the same, the woman that she is giving birth until she's pure as well. Now, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, he told us, إنما الأعمال بالنيات. So for every action of ibadah, you have to make niyyah. For salah, you make niyyah, zakah, hajj, everything. Siyam the same. And the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, he mentioned in authentic hadith, من لم يبيت صيام الليل فلا صيام له. That you have to make the intention at night. If you don't make the intention at night, then there is no siyam. So, the scholars, they discussed this in more details, and they said the following. If you go to sleep with the niyyah of waking up to have your suhoor, this is considered niyyah. But it must be at night. Even if you wake up or you don't wake up, it doesn't matter. The idea is that when you put your head, you say, okay, in your heart that you are going to fast the next day. If you woke up for the suhoor and started eating for the suhoor, then this is considered niyyah. Because why you are eating at that time? Because you want to fast. This is the thing. And there is some scholars, and there is many fatwa in this, they said you can make the niyyah for the whole month. If you find it difficult for you to say it every night, then you can say at the first night of Ramadan, I make the niyyah to fast the whole month, and you carry on. And inshallah it will be accepted. So there is two opinions about this, but I'm mentioning here that there is a group of scholars, they said niyyah for the whole month is accepted, but it's better to do the niyyah every night. Do I have to say certain words? Because you'll find in many of the timetables, وَمِنْ يَوْمِ غَدٍ نَوَيْتُ or something like this. So, and the people think if I don't say this statement, then the siyam is not accepted. No. The idea is you need to make the niyyah that you are fasting. When it is the time for iftar, there is few sunnah I'd like to remind you about it. The first sunnah is ta'jeel al-iftar. What's ta'jeel al-iftar means? That you start your iftar the minute of the adhan, or the minute that you know it is now the time of iftar. You don't delay it. You don't delay it because Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said in hadith, ما تزال أمتي بخير ما أخروا سحورهم وعجلوا فطورهم. That my ummah will be khair and good as long as they delay their suhoor, so you can eat until the last minute, and عجل الفطور, that you start your iftar the minute of the adhan. So there is no need to wait until the adhan finish. I saw in some countries they say until they say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. There is nothing to support this. We know some sects, they say until we can see the stars. And they say why you wait? Because the ayah said ثم أتموا الصيام الليل, and how can we say it is late when we can't see the stars? This is a very strange explanation of layl. Layl starts when the sun disappears. This is what we call al-layl. And so you make your iftar sunnah, as I said, with dates as This is the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and for health reasons, it is the best thing that you can start your iftar on it. If you don't have dates, then you can start with water. If I mix up, so I look at my calendar, it says iftar 5:10, okay? And maybe I was asleep, woke up and looked, and it was 14, for example. And so, yeah, 5:10, then I drank. Okay? What do you think? What will happen in this situation? Yeah. You carry on fasting and you have to make that day. Because if you make a mistake in the iftar, this is not when you make a mistake that you forget. So, forgetting is a different thing. That during the day, so you have a habit, for example, that when you come from work, the first thing you go to the fridge and drink something. Then it's Ramadan day, you came from work, you went to the fridge and drank something. Then someone said to you, "Oh, Ramadan," you stop, but you carry on, and your fast is valid. But if you make a mistake in the time of iftar, then you carry on your siyam, and you have to make up that day. And there is hadith about this, that in the time of Prophet ﷺ, that it was cloudy, and they thought it is sunset, then they have then they ate, so they break their fast. Then after they broke their fast, then the sun rise again. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said to them that you fast instead of that day. There is hadith ذهب الظمأ وابتلت العروق وثبت الأجر إن شاء الله تعالى. So it's good to remember this hadith. ذهب الظمأ وابتلت العروق وثبت الأجر إن شاء الله تعالى. So the thirst has gone, and veins moisture, and the أجر إن شاء الله is confirmed بإذن الله تعالى. السحور is sunnah, and the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said تسحروا فإن في السحور بركة. So he said have the suhoor because there is barakah in the suhoor. And the scholars, they said the barakah comes from different ways. The first barakah is following the Prophet ﷺ. This is the first barakah. Second barakah, that you are eating, because this will help you to fast. The third barakah, that 99% you will pray Fajr on time, because and I don't think someone, as I said, wake up 4:30 and have food and drink until 5. Then when it is 5 or time for Fajr, say, okay, I'll go to sleep. No. This, in a way, you guarantee that, inshallah, you pray Fajr. So this is another barakah, inshallah ta'ala. And they used to have suhoor with the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Then after they finish, they will go to the salah. And as I said, it is better to delay the suhoor, and also in the sunnah to have some dates for the suhoor. So all of us, we know that eating, drinking, and also the sexual thing will invalidate the salah and the siyam. But while you are fasting, you need to try your best that everything in your body is fasting. Your eyes are fasting, your ears fasting, your mouth fasting, your hands, your legs. I can say your brain, your heart is fasting as well. And the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said a few hadiths about it. So the first hadith Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, من لم يدع قول الزور والعمل به والجهل فليس إليه حاجة أن يدع طعامه وشرابه. The one who didn't leave lying and all the things to do with lying and act upon it, and al-jahl, which means that you harm the people, you swear, you say filthy words, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't need you to stop you eating and drinking. So what's the point? If you are stopping halal, but you are doing haram, there's no point. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إذا كان يوم صوم أحدكم فلا يرفث ولا يصخب فإن سابه أحد أو شاتمه فليقل إني امرؤ صائم. So when it is the day of your siyam, so don't do anything to do with sexual things, and don't raise your voice, don't involve in fighting, quarreling, all these time. And if someone swear at you, shout at you, or fight with you in words, then say, I am fasting. And in another hadith, he said, say inni sa'im twice. And the scholars, they said, why inni sa'im twice? One for you and one for the other person. So one for you, to remind yourself that you are fasting, you don't want to respond. The second one is for that person. If he's a Muslim, to say to him, why you are saying all of these things, you should be fasting now. So it is a reminder. If he's non-Muslim, it is like you are saying to him, look, I can reply, I can do all of these things, but because I am fasting, I don't want to reply back. And one of the things which is very bad, and even some scholars, they said it will invalidate the fasting, is the backbiting. So it is narrated that there is two ladies or two slaves at that time, they were backbiting in Ramadan. So they reported into the Prophet ﷺ. So when they came, the Nabi ﷺ said to them, Qi'a. Qi'a means vomit. So when they vomited blood and pus. So some scholars, they said, this is a clear proof that if you backbite, knowing that you are fasting, and this becomes like practice, then your fast will be invalid. Yeah, so the ajr is not there. Obviously, we are not saying if someone backbites, say, okay, go and drink and eat. No. But we are saying the ajr is not there, and the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam forced them to vomit. And according to this, the scholar came with the ruling of vomiting. They said, if someone vomit by his will, that put his hands or something like this, and vomited, or make something to make him vomit, and some people, they might vomit if they see or a picture or something like this. So something disgusting. And so if you do this deliberately, then your fasting is invalid. It doesn't matter if you eat or after that or not. But if the vomiting happened out of your control, and we know some of the bugs make you have fever and vomiting and you're exhausted and all of these things. So this will not invalidate your fast. Obviously, if you can carry on, maybe if someone vomited and he has fever and all this, he will not be able to continue fasting. So this is generally about the fasting, and I'd like to end with hadith Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. One day he was going in the minbar, then he said Ameen, then the second one he said Ameen, then the third one he said Ameen. So the Sahaba asked him, and the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, Atani Jibreel came to me. Then he said, رغم أنف من أدركه رمضان ولم يغفر له. So he's a big loser that a person attended Ramadan, or he was present during Ramadan, and after that, he didn't have the forgiveness. Then the second, he said, رغم أنف من أدرك والديه حيين ولم يغفر له. He's a big loser that the one who has his parents alive in his life, and after that, he didn't have the forgiveness. Then he's a big loser. And the third one, he said, رغم أنف من ذكرت عنده ولم يصلي عليه. He's a big loser that my name mentioned in front of him, and he didn't send salah on me. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على محمد وعلى آله. So we can see, brothers, that just the coming of Ramadan is a reason for maghfirah. Just you are alive at that time is a reason for maghfirah. So this is how great is Ramadan. Because as I said at the beginning, fasting will give you maghfirah, Salat Tarawih will give you maghfirah, Qiyam Laylat al-Qadr give you maghfirah, and so on. A few advices I can say when we go to fast. Make a plan. What are you going to do during Ramadan? The first thing, obviously fasting. And try to do the fast according to Sunnah Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That you stop at the time, you make iftar at the time, and during the day you avoid all types of haram or disobedience. Control your tongue and others, as I said earlier. Second thing, we know that Ramadan is Shahr al-Quran, the month of the Quran. Don't make Ramadan passes you without a connection with the Quran. The best is to do khatim every 3 days. This is the best. Then every week. Then every 2 weeks. Then at least once a month. But my advice to myself, to everyone, don't make one day of Ramadan passes you without reading the Quran. 2 pages, 5 pages, 20 pages. Because this is the idea. Shahr Ramadan is used in the Quran. Ramadan is Shahr al-Quran. And doesn't matter what is your level. If you know only the last 10 surahs, read them every day. If you know Juz Amma, read Juz Amma. Maybe half of it today, all of it today, then tomorrow do it again. If you read from the Mus'haf, then read. Try to read every day at least one Juz. And it is narrated that great companions, great tabi'een used to do it every day. Even one of the narration about Imam Shafi'i, he used to do one in the day, one at night. And in the past, I was thinking, when I read these things about, it's not only about Shafi'i, there's many, by the way. I was thinking, how can a person will read the whole Quran in a day? Until, not last year, the year before 7th of October, there was like a ceremony in Gaza. I think about 1,000 people. They graduated in Hifz. And the program was that you read the whole Quran in 8 to 10 hours. And they managed to do that. And the video is there. And if you like to look at it on YouTube, it's there. How come these people, they managed to read the whole Quran 8 to 10 hours? This means that Shafi'i, Sufyan bin Uyayna, others, great scholars, they used to do this during the day, and obviously they will do it, or they call it hadr. So they read it a little bit quick, but still saying it clearly. And I'd like, again, while you're reading the Quran, stay away from this, you open it and start, no. Be sure that when you read clearly. You don't say, no, it's not written. Even yourself you don't understand. Believe me, brothers, once I prayed behind an imam in one of the towns, not in Luton, and he was reading Surah Al-Kahf. I am Arab. I cannot follow him. How fast he was. You can't imagine. And the idea is, oh, I'd like to finish because he's doing 20 rakah. No. So, for yourself, read, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ. So, be sure that you read clearly. This is the whole idea. I'm not saying to you, now you need to make tajweed like Abdul Basit or Al-Nashash. No. Just read clearly. You don't need to, as I said, to make it longer, these things. And even with the madden, you don't need to make it 4 or 6 or 5. Just 4, you'll be fine. Even if in some cases you shorten it, that's permissible, inshallah ta'ala. But the idea, be sure when you read in a clear way, because Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, he said, لا تقرأ القرآن هذا. هذا means, like you said, as I said, قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علم الإنسان. And maybe you've seen some videos, I think it was in Malaysia, Indonesia, in Salat Tarawih, then I think the whole Salah maybe take 10 minutes. Ar-Rahman, Alam al-Quran, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. This is not Salah. I've seen this. And I remember I prayed behind a person. This is now how? Maybe 50 years. And he said, first, Ar-Rahman, Allahu Akbar. خلق الإنسان, الله أكبر. علمه البيان, الله أكبر. Is this Tarawih? It's not Tarawih. It is narrated in Al-Madinah, they used to pray Tarawih 36 rakah. 36. And they used to rely on the sticks. Look. And why they used to pray 36? Because in Mecca, they used to pray 20. And between every 4, they used to make tawaf. Look at the hikmah. Between every 4, they make tawaf. So those in Medina, they said, we don't have Kaaba to make tawaf. So we replace the tawaf with extra 4. So they make 20, plus they are making 4 tawaf, another 4, 60. So they used to pray 36 in Medina. Now we are not saying 30. Yes, pray 8, but or 12 or 20. The idea is give it its time. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, in this masjid, I haven't seen anyone doing wrong practice with the reading. They are reading clearly and all of these things. But I've seen other masajid. The idea is, how can we finish? How we can finish? And even in some masajid, I heard, they say to them, you have to finish within this time. So they say to the imam, okay, say, especially when it was late, 11 is Isha. 11:15, Salat al-Isha must be finished. 45 must finish Tarawih. Come on, why is this? Is this Allah or Rasul said that? No. The idea is that the whole idea of Tarawih, that the people will train, prepare themselves, khushu', and look at the atmosphere that you'll find in the masjid when you come to Tarawih. MashaAllah, the masjid is full. The people, they like to listen, they like to read, and they don't mind praying 8 or 20 or these things. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help all of us to attend Ramadan and benefit from it, inshaAllah ta'ala. If you have any questions, please tell me. Yeah. No, for Friday, there is a clear hadith. The hadith saying that don't fast Friday until you fast one day before or one day after. And so, if it is you like to do what they call it, the 3 days, 13, 14, 15. So, if it comes in at the beginning or the middle or this, you are applying before or after. Fasting the Saturday, there is hadith about it, but many scholars, they say, this is for the one who is single Saturday in this fast. So he leaves the whole week and just choose Saturday to fast. This is where nahi, the forbidden, that is not. But if someone fasting every other day, so this means that definitely Saturday will be one of them. If someone fasting the 6 days after Ramadan, definitely Arafat sometimes come Saturday and the 9 days of the Hijjah, Ashura comes. So some people very, very strictly say, no, don't fast it if it doesn't matter. This is my opinion after studying this from different opinions of different no problem, because in a way it will fall within the system. No. Good question. That and I don't know, these days still people have car sickness. I know in the past this is used to be common because the people maybe they have this trip once a year or once every 5-6 months. But these days, every day you are traveling. But if you know that there is something will break your fast, not the normal thing, avoid it to keep your fast, inshallah. No. It depends on how far is your sleep, how deep is your sleep. If it is a sleep that you still 50-50 that, and you can hear the people, and if there is people or any noise, this is not sleep. But if you go deep sleep, that you don't feel anything and laying down, then you have to make wudu. If you no, it doesn't matter. No. This doesn't invalidate doesn't invalidate your siyam. Doesn't invalidate your siyam or salah or wudu. No. So. Okay. No, I'll explain it. What we consider, if there is no timetable, okay, how we consider that it is, now it is Maghrib. بالعربي they call it غياب قرص الشمس. So, the sun, this is the circle thing, okay? When the circle disappears totally, this is Maghrib. But if it is still, I look, still half of it or a quarter, no. Until disappeared totally, doesn't matter if there is rise, no, this is not the sun, it is the rise of the sun. If the sun, and it depends where you are, if you are in the sea, you can see this, you can see the sea the sun goes in the sea. If you are in a mountain area and clear, you can see the sun goes behind the mountain. This is where you break your fast. Now these days, because Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, all around the world, there is these timetables, and obviously there is institutions and telescopes and all of it. They know exactly when the sun sets, so you can rely on that, and you break your fast accordingly. If you are in a Muslim country and you see that the muazzin called the adhan, but you can see the sun still, you don't rely on the adhan. You rely on the disappearance of the sun. Because the disappearance of the sun is number one. Yeah? Number two is the timetable. Number three is the adhan. Yeah? So if number one conflict with number two, you go to number one. So I'd like this to be clear. So if you are in Pakistan or Bangladesh or India, and the muazzin calling the adhan, but you can see clearly that the sun is still there. Shall I rely on the adhan or the sun? I rely on the adhan, on the sun. Because the sun, the disappearance of the sun, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, ثُمَّ أَتِمُّ الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. Then complete your fasting until night. What's the night? The night when the sun disappears. This is the definition of the night. Now, no. To make it easy for you to understand, brothers, what will invalidate the fast? Anything enters your, not the mouth in itself, enters the throat. Anything enters the throat, this will invalidate deliberately, because you might rinse your mouth and a drop goes down. No, it drops doesn't now validate, because you didn't start gargling, and you know that, because everyone knows himself. Yeah? You start gargling and you know there's some of it will go down. No, don't gargle. You don't need to gargle. And I've seen some people, when they make wudu, they gargle. Where is the gargling from? The idea is to rinse your mouth. This is the whole idea. SubhanAllah. Now, so blood didn't invalidate the thing. What invalidates the thing? The siyam? When something goes inside the throat. So I can add to this. The inhalers doesn't break the fast. Why? Because the inhaler doesn't have a body. They call it jurm bil Arabi. So because it is only spray. And it stays where? Here, in the mouth. Injection. So if it is for dentist or insulin or something, unless the injection for nourishing. So you faint and they took you to the hospital and they put this drip thing, and you know what's in that bag is nourishing stuff. Now this will invalidate your, because now there is goes to your body, something will nourish it. Yes, it is not from the throat, but you know it is doing that. Other than this, it will not invalidate. If you take your teeth off, that doesn't, unless that you are sure that water, because you know all these dentists use water and this. If you are sure that water came down, okay, this invalidates your fasting. But if they put this, suck the thing and you are fine, there's no harm, inshallah. The eye drops doesn't invalidate. The ear drops doesn't invalidate. But the nose drops invalidate. Why? Because it goes to the throat. Now, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب إليك.